Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a little bit of an update since I haven't shared all that much about Kiwi lately. And for those of you on YouTube who don't know, I did decide to name my mare Kiwi, my Oklahoma Mustang. What's been happening is she was making really great progress, and you're going to see all of that progress in this video. My camera, unfortunately, is out of service right now. I need to get that fixed, so that's why there hasn't been as much content lately. Everything in this video is going to be stuff that was either taken on my phone as a photo or little video clips that I've gotten along the way until I can get my camera fixed again, which will hopefully be pretty soon. I am going to use Kiwi for my virtual Liberty series, which will run from the end of June through July, and there's going to be information on that soon. If you want to sign up for that, you can follow my Facebook or my website and contact me to sign up to join in with your horse. I have been working her pretty much as I can. I also have a membership group for her, which is $30 to join, and you'll see daily updates and what we're working on now and why I decided to make a membership group for her and why everything is getting complicated now. Kiwi was making really great progress, and the issue happened when I left town for 3 to 4 days and left her with a friend so she could keep up the work and the progress and not have to sit for that many days, because every day is crucial with a makeover horse, but I had to go out of town. So I left her with a friend, and I didn't get any reports of anything weird happening or anything bad happening. But then when I went back and got her afterwards, that's when things got really tricky and we really backtracked. And I'm going to talk more about that in the next video. But editing this video and watching back this footage really sucked for me. It kind of bummed me out quite a bit. But anyways, if you want to see her progress and what she's doing every day, reach out to me. You can send me an email or a message and I can get you signed up for her membership group, which is just a one-time payment for the next 3 months that I have her. And yeah, in my next video on YouTube, I'll kind of explain all the problems I'm having and show quite a bit of video example for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and see all of the fun things that we were doing just a couple weeks ago. This was our very last day in Texas before we left. I was just sitting on her bareback hanging out in the arena, and she was looking pretty darn good. Once we got to Arizona, I visited my friend Jeff Cook, and she had a couple of obstacles to go over. She surprisingly did really well with this ball pit. She didn't care too much. I had her walk through the more empty side, but we did tap a couple of them later on, and she stepped on them and they moved, and she was really good with it. We also were able to get our front feet on the tarp today. It was super windy, so it kept blowing up, which wasn't super fair to her, but she was trying really hard. But I'm just trying to show you guys all of the different things that we've been doing the past couple weeks and kind of where she's at, because I know I haven't updated for a while.
You're okay. Step back up. Step back up. Good. Good job with it blowing like that. It's okay. I know that's not very fair, is it?
Something else I started to do with her to help her with tying is this belly rope, which I'll explain in another video. And also, just so you guys know, the little marks on her are fly bites, and the reason that they look red or pink is because it's pink swat that was put on them. She is not bleeding. Again, with her face, that is swat on it. But you can see she's doing really well with obstacles, stepping up on bridges, doing super good. And I had a lot of time just hanging out with her, and she would rub on me, and we would sit on the porch for about an hour after every workout and just hang out for a while. And she started to get really curious and interested, which was cool to see her personality and see her let her guard down some. I also started to give her grain this day. She finally started to eat it, and she had no problem eating from my hand, so I was pretty excited that I finally got that in her. So I tried really hard to have a lot of downtime just hanging out with her and letting her eat food and just be quiet after she'd get hosed down. Again, I'm going to keep saying it because I know people will comment. Yes, she has a few cuts on her face, and yes, they are healing. I put ointment on them twice a day, and they are fully healed now. But I really liked this curious moment with her where she was just investigating and checking things out. Every day after she would work, I would hose her down because she really liked it. She loves water, loves the hose, so that became part of our routine every single day. So it's pretty hard to record yourself riding, so I hadn't gotten many riding videos, but I was riding her for maybe 10-20 minutes a day in the round pen. But eventually I got to go to Jeff Cook's because I never had a big enough area to canter her and I never had enough push to canter her. So he helped me get her around, and this was her very first time cantering. She did really well responding. I'm trying to be light on my rein. She's good with the dog out there. She was just being really good this day. So I'm going to skip to the part where our cantering is happening, and there's a lot of groundwork that I wanted to do first, as in get her to respond lighter to my canter cue on the ground to see if I could transfer that under saddle, because you'll see she's a little bit frantic with her legs and doesn't know exactly where to put them when we get into the canter, but she started to figure it out, which was really nice. So now we're going to push her, see if we can get a couple of those strides. There we go. Good. Gonna push her again. She's doing really well with someone pushing her, people standing on the rail, the dog running around. That's why she's cutting off the corner. I'm not really steering, I'm just a passenger up there right now. But you can tell she definitely has to figure out where her legs need to go. I really like this clip because she's finally starting to relax a little bit more with me up there and paying attention to other things and not just focusing on me being on her. So that's why I included this. I like her relaxation that she's starting to get. I'm really happy we were able to get the canter for a couple strides, and of course we continued our progress at home. She was dragging a tarp, doing really well, and we were at this point already traveling quite a bit, so she was getting really used to hauling, really awesome at loading. But I like again how she's just kind of interacting with me here and wanting to be heard.
Thank you. Hello. Alright, you ready to load up? I'm just gonna put her ointment on her face from her rubs, and then we'll load right up. Does that sound good?
And now we are going to go to the vets to get our teeth done, get shots, get coggins, all that good stuff.
It's done through the same place.
And this is the first time I've seen her with sedation, and she is definitely a lightweight. She barely got any and she was out. And it actually made her tired almost the entire rest of the day, so we didn't get to work when we got back. But she was absolutely amazing for the vet. Really good to have her teeth done. Of course, sedation helps with that, but really good for her shots. And I found out that she weighs 800 pounds on the dot. This is just her walking back to get tied up before we load to go home, and I forgot that I had this clip. This was right after she got the sedation, so she is twitching a lot, and then you're gonna see how spread out her stance is. She definitely could feel a very light dose, so she is a lightweight for sure. I had all this vet work done late April because early May I had to go to Southern California to judge the SoCal Tip Challenge, and she came with me. It was her first time wearing English pass. We went on a little walk in the trail, and she was really good. She didn't get to do too much because I was busy the whole weekend, but she did hang out quite a bit, and she got that exposure to the huge crowd. Something else really fun that we got to do was we went swimming at Fiesta Island, and I wasn't going to go in, but this horse practically drugged me in. I was just standing on the edge while watching everyone else in the water, and she decided to walk in and proceeded to pull me in with her. So that's how we ended up going in, and I already knew she really liked the hose, but I wasn't sure if she was going to like swimming, but she ended up absolutely loving it. She was splashing a lot, and I got to sit on her in there, and there was probably about 20 other horses surrounding us. It was just a really good experience overall for her. It was super cold water, but she didn't seem to care. She kept trying to roll in it as well.
That's true. And is that some fairgrounds?
She's definitely a beach horse.
The only thing that it might affect would be like, I'm like, who's gonna come?
I like how relaxed she was getting.
No, you stay. You stay where you are. Stay.
So we got to be around the show a little bit, but again, not too much because I was judging, but I did have this really nice photo taken of us, which was cool. After that, I ended up riding with Wileen for one session, and we rode in the arena, and I took her on a solo trail walk just up the hill in California through a trail all by ourselves overlooking the city, and she was really, really good. I was really surprised, and I felt like this was a big stepping stone for us. When we got back to Arizona, we got into our daily routine that I posted about on Facebook. We ended up riding really awesome. We rode every single morning. She got hosed down, and we got trailered every day. Like I was saying, we were in our routine of riding, getting tied up, and hosing down every morning. And I do have a couple clips of riding and where we were at. So this is maybe her 10th ride or so, and we're in the big arena. Maybe it's her 12th ride. I'm not exactly sure. And we were doing walk trot, and we did a couple strides of canter, but I think I only recorded walk trot here because it was the end of our ride, and I again apologize for the crooked video filming on my phone because my camera's broken. But you can see she's going around pretty happily at the trot. We're working on some steering. Of course, she's a green horse, so she still has some bulging and her straightness isn't totally there, but there is our stop, which is going to be me sliding my hand up her neck. That's something that I learned from Wileen to get them to stop. I believe it comes from Monty Foreman's basic handle. And she's got that down pretty solid where she knows if I slide my hand up for her to stop. And again, you can see that green horse straightness there where we are wiggling and all over the place. We just started working on the backup. I think this was our second time backing up under saddle. And we really started to refine our pivots as well. And she has a pretty decent crossover for this, surprisingly, and she's good about keeping her hind end still, so I was really happy with how she was doing. Again, just working on the pivot going the other way. As soon as I get a good step or two, I'm going to release, and I believe this is the very last thing that we did. I was super happy with that, so I probably dismount her. And you can hear in the background all of the construction and commotion going on, which is happening just to... it would be the left of us in this video, and she was really great with all of it. Next up was trim day. So she had quite a bit of hoof taken off. Her feet were really long, and she was absolutely amazing for the farrier. She didn't take one wrong step. She didn't pull away once. She was really, really great. Probably the best that I've had for a farrier for their first time. And we tried to mix it up. We didn't just ride every single day, so we hauled over to an arena that again was in the neighborhood and just worked on going over some obstacles. Again, I like how calm she is here, and she's really listening and paying attention. And of course, I am doing this all with one hand and holding the phone with the other to record, so she's getting a little bit confused, but again, she has so much softness doing everything. Of course, the water girl gets her hose down. And this was another day riding. These are just a few snippets from our ride. She's walking really relaxed under saddle. I'm able to start getting a little bit more refinement at our trot. Our turning and steering is getting so much better, so I'm starting to work on serpentines and figure eights and more changes of direction. She really was just doing phenomenal, doing really, really well. Our stop, you can see how that improved from the last video. It just happened to be both my hands just pressing down into her. Again, you can see she's a little bit mouthy with the bit, but she's doing the side pass, which is seriously only my second time asking, so I think she's doing awesome for it being so new to her. Getting a few good crossover steps. This was actually a video that I tried to post to Facebook, which is why you see the captions on it, but it never went through. So I'm glad it didn't, because now I have it for this video for you guys. Much softer, better pivot that direction. Just letting her free up with that canter still. Don't ask too much of her. I just ask her to go into it and hold it for pretty much as long as she can. The last big thing we did in Arizona was we went on a trip to northern Arizona to visit my friends Amber and Isidro Espinosa, which is about 4 hours away from Maricopa where I was staying. So we got to go on a cool little trip for the next 2 days.
Good girl.
We got to the Espinosas and probably had about 20 minutes of dirt road driving until we actually got to their house. Once I got there, I just let Kiwi relax for a little while, and we messed around with their horses quite a bit. They had some work to finish with them, and we helped load some donkeys up to go to the vet. And then I rode Kiwi around the property, walk, trot, canter, and she was really good with the obstacles, super calm, quiet, relaxed. Really loved this whole entire day. It made me so happy to see how much she was improving and how quiet she was getting. Just some quiet time hanging out at the fence with the other horses, tying up. And then we went on a 3.5 long mile trail walk, and there was 7 horses on it. She led almost the whole way. There was dogs running past us. I was riding on a loose rein with one hand, not even fully paying attention. There was a horse that ran into her at one point. Horses were trotting past her, coming up to her, and she was amazing. She rode with her head low. She rode super quiet. I was so impressed and happy with how she was for this ride, and this was our very last ride together, I guess you could say. I'm going to explain more in the next video and kind of show you guys where she's at right now. Thank you guys for making it through this video. It was really fun to go on that trail ride with her at the end. That was probably maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. Like I said, a lot has changed in that time, and we are going through a really big struggle right now, and there's just a lot going on. So if you want to know more details on that, you can join the group I was talking about, or you can wait for my next YouTube video where I will explain a little bit more of what's happening and what I'm doing with her right now. But thank you guys for watching and supporting my journey and Kiwi's journey, and I hope you stay tuned for the next video.